everybody. It is nostalgia time once again, and welcome to our next mini series here on the show. Where this time around we're going to be taking a look at a series of Lenovo machines. There are a whole bunch of them out there on the Internet Archive, and a majority of them, of course, have hardware locks, hardware restrictions, and everything like that. Now, all of these here I have tested beforehand, and they do appear to work under virtualized hardware. Majority of those failures were on USB flash drives, where as I burned image after image after image, it would boot. Well, there are a few of them. So, in relation to the flash drives, which is what a majority of the modern ones were, there were a few that did end up booting into the factory recovery. However, upon the completion of the process, and when it starts, so upon going through the first screens and saying accept the terms, here's the boot layout, where do you want to put windows and everything like that, it looks like it's going pretty quickly, but then it ends up failing, most likely because it is virtualized hardware. And the rest of them didn't even boot at all. So, these are the working ones right here. We start with the Lenovo 3000 N100, which came with Windows XP Professional Service Pack 2. And in the restore disk, we load into this rescue and recovery workspace. So what we're here to do is restore the system. It says if you want to access a USB device but it does not show, first make sure the device is fully connected, then restart your PC. So choose what you want to do. We want to restore the entire hard drive. Choose a backup to restore from. So, this is a startup disk. It also does come with a restore CD. So I'm going to insert that disk now. And CD DVD. So restore hard drive to the original factory state. The rescue and recovery application indicates that you have chosen to restore the factory contents from the media. Before continuing, make sure you have the appropriate recovery disks. If you do not, all data will be lost. Are you sure you want to proceed? Absolutely. There are no files to back up. You are about to start. Yep, let's begin. It says do not power off during this process, of course, because if you do that, then the recovery will end up failing and you'll end up with corrupted files, which is definitely not good. So we'll go ahead and hit OK. And here it says restoring the factory contents is useful if you intend to transfer the computer to another area, sell, recycle, or put it into an operational state after other methods. So we'll click next. Yes, I accept the terms and conditions, and we'll click next. And then this is where the process begins. I believe it'll ask for the recovery disk a little later on, but it looks like the restore is starting, so we will let that proceed, and I will insert the recovery disk when it asks for it. So now it says, please remove the CD, power off your machine, and turn it back on to continue the process. So we'll click OK. And I'm guessing it wants me to restart. So we'll just hit the reset switch. And let's see what happens now. So what that just did was it copied a recovery partition to the hard drive. So now it's booting from that recovery partition, and that will be used to restore the system. I'm assuming we'll have to go through the same process here once it loads up again. It says if you have a product recovery supplemental disk, please insert it now. There's another one that says recovery DVD, but I don't know if it's really going to work, but let's find out. So I'll click yes. That is not the correct disk. Okay. So we'll just click no. I already have disk 1 in the drive. And there should be the only disk, because there is only one disk in the archive set. I don't know if it's going to ask for any more, but if there are no more, then we'll see what we can do from there. Well, there we go. We finally run into the hardware block. I mean, the whole reset was going pretty good at first, but now at this point it finally stopped working, so I gotta say that was kind of impressive how far we got up to this point. So, I guess then this machine's a bust, so we're gonna move on now to the IdeaPad Z580. And even if I were to set the drive to SATA or leave it at IDE or anything like that, the portion of the restore we ended up getting to would have still failed. This is Lenovo's one key recovery utility, and this is the drive we want to restore it to. And this is the confirmation, and this is showing the date of the backup. And yes, we want to proceed. And now the restore begins. Here we go again. I believe I saw the hard drive controller blue screen. So instead of, some nice background like that one key recovery, we're going to get a newer version. So it says restore the contents. We'll click next. Yes, we agree to the terms and conditions. So Clean OS Recovery won't install any of the manufacturer drivers or software, but we're here to look at everything. So we're going to do manufacturer recovery, and now the restore process begins. This process recovery fails, occurs an error. Press yes to try again. So anyway, here we go. Next, agree to the terms and conditions, and we're going to do the MBR style. This is not a UEFI, so GPT will not work. And let's see if it'll fail. Yep, it's gonna fail in spectacular fashion, just like those USB drives. So this is not looking too good, and we have two machines left in the set of recovery disks. Oh boy, this is also going to come with Windows 8. And it looks like it will fail in the exact same fashion as before. We go on now to the last disk of the initial set of CDs. This one being the IdeaPad V570. So here's the one key recovery utility again, just like we saw with the other one, except this one is in English. But will this complete all the way? We are about to find out. So would you look at that? It's about time. We finally got a Lenovo machine to work. So here it is. This is Windows 7 Home Premium, considering this is an IdeaPad. And of course, we'll. And now for the craziest name I could think of. Finally, a successful. Finally, a success. Okay, that's good enough. Okay. No password. This is Service Pack 1 of Windows 7, and this is the agreement from Lenovo. We'll just say no because the updates don't really work anymore. No, not Central America, Central Time. And of course, I see the network driver doesn't work out of the box, or it doesn't even bother asking. So now we will load into the desktop in just a moment, and we can see the custom lock screen background that Lenovo provides, or has provided specifically for this machine. I actually kind of like the design though. It's like all there's the nice design of the all the lines and such. So I'm guessing this is their second default lock screen background because the one on the ThinkPad models was a lot different. It was exclusive to that line. It had the black with the Think on it, the Think in the place of Lenovo. So that one was an exclusive to the ThinkPad line, and this one is used on all their other lines of machines. So here we are. Here's the desktop. And we can see McAfee's already come up asking for activation. I see Port Locker is installed. BioAccess is not installed. Initialize. Swipe your finger to start the initial wizard. Current boot time 66 seconds. Previous optimization state never. So get McAfee out of here. So BioAccess. Now this model had a fingerprint reader. So you can enroll your fingerprint and you can use it to log into Windows. Just like we saw on that HP ProBook, which we couldn't seem to get working. But again, this will not work because this is not that specific hardware. And you can hear all the hardware coming up. And for Port Locker, this is where you set up a password for, well, other things too. You can hear all the hardware sounds and hardware failures and everything like that. It's just going to get pretty crazy. So we have the Intel wireless display from 2010, which is, I believe, a projector. Software for projecting, although Windows 7 has one by default. We have Veriface 4, which pretty much is like, I guess, face recognition. And then UCam, of course, is a webcam program. Cyberlink Power to Go, we know that is a DVD creator tool or DVD media player. So, yep, this is where you burn DVDs and CDs. Device driver software was not successfully installed. You can see this is everything here. It said some are finished, need to restart, and then there are some that were unsuccessful. Telephony start now. Surf the web with Google Chrome. So apparently Lenovo acknowledged how terrible Internet Explorer is, and they actually decided to preload the Google Chrome browser on their machines, which of course this is going to be an older version. Version 7 from 2010. Oh boy, from 2010. Man, thousands were still using XP around this time, so this would be the best browser for them. But it doesn't say that the browser is not receiving updates because this is a very old version. But of course, it's going to eventually update to the last one that supports Windows 7. But it'll likely have to go through like 15 other versions first. But the telephony start now, I'm guessing that's the telephone tool. Lenovo Security Suite. It's basically safeguard protection mechanism, and then boot optimizer. Well, that's what it is. So it just optimizes programs to speed up boot time. And this is to Best Buy's website. And then one key recovery, as we saw, is what you use to restore the system. We also have Lenovo's active protection system on here as well, which again will stop the hard drive in the event of intense movement. Office 2010 is also preloaded on here. Windows Live Essentials is also on here too. Silverlight, McAfee. This is all the Lenovo stuff. And then here's the rest of everything. No special games from Lenovo. We just get the default ones. But Best Buy actually opens up in its own separate app that I can't seem to move. It says, oops, you currently don't have an internet connection. Well, of course I do, but it's that this app no longer functions. So I'll just close the program. I don't need it. Now let's see if they've included, I'm sure they've included custom backgrounds. So I see we actually have a series of custom themes from the manufacturer. And of course, this is one of their slideshows. Here's another one. Here's the third. And here's 4. Number 4 actually looks kind of nice too, because there's some pictures. And then of course we have the standard ones in Windows 7. This is the default ones. Let's set it back to the other theme that we had. And now the last thing to do here is look at the files. Now you can see some documents have been created on the root of the C drive, like logs. And this is the recovery partition. So we'll go down to Web, Wallpaper, and you can see we have the folders for the Lenovo backgrounds. So this is the lock screen background, and then these are some other designs. Pretty cool. So all in all, that's really all there is to see here. So we are going to move on now to the next model. So next up is the Lenovo IdeaPad Yoga 11S. And pretty much right now, this just looks like a standard installation of Windows 10. So it looks like this is obviously going to succeed. And I can tell already it looks to be in Chinese. We're going to skip the product key. And let's see what edition this comes with. I'm going to assume it's going to come with Windows 10 Home. Oh, it actually comes with Windows 8. So this is either Windows 8 Pro or Core. I'm guessing this is going to be Windows 8 Core. So this... So I was actually wrong. This actually comes with Windows 8. Interesting. It translates to Windows 8 pre-release. Is this like a consumer preview or a developer preview in Chinese? I'm not sure. Well, that's what we are going to find out when the installation is done. And one more thing. Since we all pretty much know how this is going to go, we're just going to skip right to the out-of-box experience and set it up. Alright, so changing the hard drive type worked. And now, this is the Express settings. Microsoft account. Local. There we go. Let's see what keyword layout this is. I see it's detected US English. And finish. And now we'll load into the desktop. This says, hi. While we're getting things ready, check out the new way to use Windows. And then this explains about moving your mouse into the corner of the screen to bring up the charms bar, charms menu, however you say it. Oh wow, we get our first look at McAfee. Let's say no or whatever that message is. And at last, here is the infamous start screen of Windows 8. And yes, this is the original release. No start button. And of course, we'd have to go to the charms bar to hit shut down and everything like that. So, looking around this installation, just a standard copy of Windows 8 with nothing special other than a custom wallpaper. I actually managed to find the user guide for this machine. Of course, it's in Chinese, and this is what it would look like. And of course, it opens up in this reader program, which of course was designed for full screen tablets and stuff like that. And the worst part about it is that there's no bar. I gotta go here, click on the start menu, and go back. This is all I was copying over the wallpaper for the machine here specifically. Reopen the start menu or start screen, I should say. There are some more things installed here that I did not see until just now. McAfee is also installed. Let's see Weibo. I think this is a web service program, something like that. Yeah, it looks like a service of sorts. And then we have Double Q. I wonder what this is. I wonder what this is. I guess we won't know either. And then it comes with Office 2013, I believe, out of the box. Yep, of course, in Chinese. And I believe this is a file sharing app. Lenovo Transition, I suppose this is a. So, this Lenovo Transition, I suppose, is a mode where you can switch certain features on or off. And I believe this is to transition it into tablet mode settings. And yeah, that's what I thought this thing was. And this is a download manager. Yeah, it looks like a download manager or something. What else do we have? It looks like a radio app. I believe this is a language translation tool, and use this to translate text into various languages. I believe that's what this is, but I have no idea. I don't know what this is. Need internet connection in order to work, which it won't. It's a travel program. No, whatever. Yeah, it's a travel. And then what's this one? It's a weather. Weather.com.cn. So it looks like this is a weather. This is like a third party weather app. But then otherwise, there's the default one in Windows 8. And of course, this would be the same too in Windows 10. I mean, Windows 11 doesn't have a weather app. A separate one by default. It's now in the form of a widget. What's ZCom? Looks like a news magazine. Lenovo Companion. I wonder what this is. I really just don't know. Evernote, we know what that is, and I think that's all there is to see here. Oh, this is about one key recovery, so that was one key recovery. So to create a recovery disk. But while I was also scavenging through the Windows folder, I noticed a Amazon browser bar icon. Not sure what that's for, but I believe that's for Internet Explorer, which has some Lenovo things by default, which probably don't work anymore. And I think that's really all there is to see. So, again, here you can create a backup or restore from an existing backup, pretty much like a factory recovery, as we normally see. So that's really all there is to see on this one. So this is shut down. So here's what looks to be an updated one key recovery screen. This is version 7. There's an antivirus built in, which is new. And this changes settings, but we're going to load the one key recovery utility. And let's see, I couldn't read that. Went too fast. Restore from original backup. The system will be restored from its original state. And then the error reads partition. The program cannot recover because the structure is incorrect. Well, that would essentially mean then I would have to start over. And then if we look at the backups, we have a backup right here. But then once again, it says invalid image file. So we could recover, however, what's the drive type? This is SCSI or is this SATA? I'm probably going to have to do it again. So we are on Hiron's boot CD here as we start the next and what will probably be the very last machine of the set. And I mean, considering how quick all this is going, I can't really say that this is really the first one of a whole set of episodes. This is actually the first and last episode of this little mini series. I guess it lasted for just this episode and this episode only. So, well, there goes all that. So I guess we can just go right to the Asus mini series or whatever other mini series we come up with next time. So, we are restoring the media for this. We get this interesting looking screen, a little different than what we have seen so far. Instead of the Lenovo Rescue and Recovery background, it looks like we get these nice custom designs of sorts. It looks like a 3-leaf clover. I don't know what the heck that is. And it's all on a gray background. So that's kind of unique. And right now it looks like nothing is happening. Or is it just grabbing all the stuff it needs to start the restore? And it doesn't look like anything appears to be happening at the moment. It could also be because I set this to a. Probably because I set it to 4 gigs of RAM. Error while initializing the recovery environment. Yep, that is not good at all. So I'm afraid that is where we are stopping. But hey, we got a lot of discs in, and furthermore, we actually ended up completing the entire mini series in one episode, which is absolutely amazing. So, in the next episode here, we will be starting our next major mini series, that being the Asus set. So, there's going to be a whole lot of stuff there. But until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.